high atop Rustler Gym, maybe a little more accurate rather than courtside. Happy Monday. Third game in 4 days for the CWC Rustler men as they are getting ready to take on Colorado Northwestern. And the CWC men come in at 0-4, and the Spartans from Colorado Northwestern come in, they haven't played a game yet. They're 0-0. This is their first game of the season. Their women also playing their first game of the season. Right now they're playing at Eastern Wyoming College, and right now Eastern enjoying a 2-point lead on the visitors right now. 52-50. Eastern is leading Colorado Northwestern's women. They are about midway through the third period down in Torrington. So we'll keep you up to date on that for you Colorado Northwestern fans as their team is taking on the Eastern Wyoming Lancers right now. CWC, as I mentioned, 0-4 on the season. Head coach Brad Schmidt, we'll talk with him in the pregame show about a little frustrating start. And the thing about it is, he said, we're very young, and he says, I'm just trying a lot of different kids, just trying to get a spark on a lineup, and we'll see what happens tonight as he changes up his lineup and has two different starters in the roster tonight on the starting side of things. First-time fans will be allowed in Rustler Gymnasium as there will be a smattering of students here and some parents that get to come watch their young men play here today. From I don't know if there's going to be any Colorado Northwestern parents or not. I'm thinking they were certainly afforded the opportunity, perhaps, but just traveling and especially a game on a Monday night and everything else that goes along with that. But there will be some fans in the building here tonight, so we'll try to keep track of that as we go as well. Joel Kindle will join me in a minute. We'll take a look at your Rustler report. We'll see what is going to transpire with some of our other Rustler activities and recap the weekend and preview the upcoming week and weekend as our women will play on Wednesday. We'll do that after we take this time out. The Rustler Report is next here on the pregame show on 88.1, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. Time now for your Rustler Report as we see what's going on with the rest of our Rustler athletics. Of course, this is some Monday night basketball. This game was to play a week ago on a Wednesday, I do believe, but Colorado Northwestern was not permitted to play, and it's kind of been a journey for them, and we'll talk about that more in the pregame as Coach Nathan Tarrin and his team haven't played a 5-on-5 battle in pretty much almost even in practice in like 300 days because of COVID and lockdown and everything else.
In fact, all of the Western or Northwestern Colorado teams are playing for the first time either today or tonight.
Yeah, their volleyball team as well. Let's start there, I guess, with our volleyball team as they would host a tournament this weekend that was to be played in Salt Lake, but they ended up hosting it here. And
on Q3 volleyball players walk in.
There you go. They would go 1-3. They fell to the College of Southern Idaho in 4, beat Casper College in 5, and then were beaten by Western Nebraska 3-1, swept by College of Southern Idaho 3-0, and they will be back at home this weekend. They will play Northwest College at 11. On Friday, they'll play Colorado Northwestern at 5. Then they'll play Colorado Northwestern again 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. So our volleyball team right now is sitting with a 4-5 record. Back at it again 11 o'clock on Friday at their second straight home invitational.
We'll have done more 9 o'clock games this year, I think, than other years combined, I feel.
Yeah, that's definitely for certain there. CWC women, they will play Wednesday night when they travel to Rangeley. They'll take on this the women's program of this school we're facing tonight, the Colorado Northwestern Lady Spartans, who are right now taking on Eastern Wyoming College, and they are losing 68-61 as we keep you up to date on that ball game. But
that is on the road, isn't it?
It is in Torrington, yes. For them, it is on the road. CWC women would fall twice this weekend. Fell to 24th ranked Salt Lake 67-32. Fell to Snow College 61-36. They will play at Colorado Northwestern on Wednesday, then come home, then travel to Twin Falls on Friday. They'll face California Christian on Friday. They'll play College of Southern Idaho on Saturday. Our men's program will do the exact same thing. They'll play California Christian on Friday. They'll play CSI on Saturday. Both of those games are at the College of Southern Idaho in Twin Falls. And that is what the Rustler report looks like.
And I think you were going to mention maybe the new soccer coach as well.
Yes, and at halftime we will be talking with Jacob, our head interim. I don't know if he is the head coach or if he's the interim head coach, but we'll be talking with
He'll be coaching soccer one way or
Jacob,
another.
nonetheless. He will be joining us at halftime here at the intermission of this men's game coming up here in just a bit. So that is your Rustler report. Stay with us when we come back. An interview with the head coach, Brad Schmidt, as the Rustlers and the Spartans get ready for some Monday night inter-region basketball. Region 18 versus Region 9.
I would get Hank Williams Jr. to do a song for us.
Or Terry Underwood or somebody else. But the coach is next. This is your pregame show on 88.1.
Take it.
Central Wyoming College basketball taking on Colorado Northwestern. This is the 18th meeting between the two. Central leads 15-2. They have won the last 6 straight.
And this is a team that CWC used to play the first time around in sports. It was one of the few, I think, far away type teams, I guess for lack of a better way to put it, you know, down in that northwest corner of Colorado by Colorado National Monument. Best monument in the country, by the way. But it's a team that they've actually played for many, many years, of which there's not a lot other than the state schools.
And I guess I better clarify, 18th since CWC has brought basketball back in 2009. Central won last year 101-72 at Rangeley, and then the very next game had to hold on to win 94-82 at home. As you heard Coach Brad Schmidt say in the pregame, that they had them up by, they were up by about 20, and then it got down to about 3 or 4, but Central managed to go and win by 12. Last time that these two teams were out, Central fell to snow 109-67. They'll look to get that taste out of their mouth. First game of the season for Colorado Northwestern. Players to watch: Jalen Gentry leads Central in scoring at 20 per game. Inserted into the starting lineup today, Davis Richard. 15 threes in 4 games, and he's hit 52% of those as he is on fire from the arc in the first 4 games.
I think he might have been their high score in the tournament over the weekend, I think, too, in those 2 games combined.
He had 15 in the second one. I think Gentry had 20 in that one. And then Stephen Long playing just his second game. He will get the start today. Everybody else on the roster has played in all 4 of the games except for Stephen Long, who came up injured just before the game at Western Nebraska. For the Colorado Northwestern Spartans, 3 sophomores back for head coach Nathan Tarrin. Azarian Stevens was an all-region 18 honorable mention, 3rd in the conference in scoring, and that's a pretty good list when you look at Snow and Salt Lake and CSI. Also back on the team, Raven Brown and Jordan Stratch. They will both start. And he only had about 4 players much of last week in practice, and it's been over 300 days since this team has scrimmaged or played against other people besides themselves. And we'll see how that transpires with the team as they come out today to take on the Rustlers.
And at least they got enough players to scrimmage against themselves, because that's been a numbers problem in Rangeley for some of their sports the last couple of years.
At 7 last year, I think, at one different point on the roster. Take a look at some starting lineups real quick for the Central Rustlers. Wearing number 1, the 5'8 sophomore averaging 15 points a game from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is Jalen Gentry here tonight. Number 3 is Abdi Dahir, the other returner for Central, a 6'6 sophomore averaging 10 points and 10 rebounds. It's 9 point something on both, very close to 10. And he is from Portland, Oregon, by way of Las Vegas Prep. Davis Richard, the start tonight, wearing number 10, the 6'3 freshman, averaging 12 points a game on 4 3-pointers a game, hitting 52% of those threes. He is from Frederick, Colorado. Stephen Long, the start today, the 6'5 freshman, as he will average. He's only played 1 game. He scored 6 points and had 4 rebounds. He is from Tigard, Oregon. And then number 33, the big fella down low, a 6'5 freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada, is Caden Koch. Caden wearing number 33, as I said, averaging 4 points and 5 rebounds per ball game. And so it will be Gentry, Dahir, Richard, Long, and Koch, the 5 for the Rustlers. We'll get you the Spartans when we come back on the other side of the national anthem. And it is good to see some crowd, and we'll hopefully hear some crowd here tonight as our first game with spectators. National anthem is next, and we'll be back with the starters for Colorado Northwestern in a moment. Starting lineups for the visitors, dressed in their road red uniforms, as they are head coached by Nathan Tarrant in his 5th year at Colorado Northwestern. Number 1 is a 6-foot sophomore from Racine, Wisconsin. That's Azarian Stevens, the honorable mention all-conference player last year with the yellow shoes, Azarian Stevens. Number 2, a 6'4" sophomore from Colorado Springs, is Raven Brown. Number 11 from South Sudan by the way of TSF, that is the Skills Factory Prep. That is Chol Deng Wall. Chol, a 6'8" freshman. Number 13, a 5'10" freshman from Sandy, Utah, is Sina Namdar. And the other returner for the Spartans is Jordan Stratch, a 6'8" sophomore from Commerce City, Colorado. Stevens, Brown, and Stratch returners. Chol Deng Wall and Sina Namdar are newcomers to the Spartan roster. They have not played a game yet this season. Central is averaging 76 points a game, but they're giving up 93 points a game. And right now, I don't know if I remember this happening in the last 12 years since basketball's been back, but our basketball teams are 0-9 collectively right now.
That's not a good thing. Interesting, the leading scorer for CWC and the expected leading scorer, Racine, is actually a suburb of Milwaukee, so those two may know each other, or at least aware of each other from their perhaps battles in the Cheese State.
Koch and Dingwall will step into the midcourt circle to jump. And again, we've got crowd in the house. The ball is in the air, and basketball begins. The season starter for Colorado Northwestern. They will start with a basketball. Namdar guarded by Richard. Central in a man-to-man as we begin the basketball game. Stratch underneath. Ball goes in and out of the hands of Raven Brown, but behind him was Dahir, and it bounces off his foot out of bounds. It'll stay Spartan basketball. Shot clock stays at 18. And they're making Deng Wall tuck his jersey in, which apparently they didn't see on the opening tap. Inbound.
Well, they had a couple of passes they just couldn't handle there. That could have been turned into layups.
Stevens. Gentry on him, the 2 Milwaukee products. Top of the key, Namdar back out to Brown. He'll drive, lay it up and in as the shot clock was about to expire. He lays it off glass and puts it in. 2-0. Spartans out in front. Into the paint, Koch. That was a big emphasis, and they're going to call him with an offensive foul. And that is not what Coach wanted. One thing Coach wanted was a lot of energy out of his team today. Number 2 was a concerted effort to get the ball down low and try to keep his big guy out of foul trouble. But right now, 50 seconds in, he has already got a turnover, and the turnover comes by way of the offensive foul. And then Colorado Northwestern will return the favor as they throw it away.
I think I've got the sound effect for that, but
Namdar is going to full court pressure on Gentry, but it's token man-to-man. Stephen Long is out there. He'll take off to the right side as they'll look for Davis Richard in the corner. Wide open underneath. Long's going to reverse the layup. Dahir, the rebound, put it up and in and one.
I think he might have got fouled actually earlier than that, it seemed like, as he kind of got his position pushed out somewhat.
Abdi ties the game at 2 apiece. The foul whistled on Raven Brown will be his first personal. And Abdi Dahir to the line, trying to give Central their first lead of the night on the three-point play. It is no good, but the rebound by Long. Stephen Long with the offensive board, second offensive board of the night for the Rustlers, but then they're going to give it away on some bad interior passing down on the low block. Deng Wall rejected by Dahir, taken away by Davis Richard.
Well, he read that in advance quite a bit on that play.
Gentry, Dahir on the baseline, spins, float off glass for 8, no good. Koch the rebound, that won't fall. And coming away with it is Chol Deng Wall, and the rebound. Boy, a couple of good opportunities down low for the Rustlers. They can't connect. Stevens wide open, Long 3 will not fall down, and Stephen Long his second rebound of the evening. Long ways, Gentry for 3 at the top, no good. Deng Wall with the rebound as it squirts out on the floor. Stratch working on Davis Richard, kicks it back outside. Azarian Stevens for three. That one's also no good. And then the end rebound, how about that? Right back to Stephen Long, gives it to Dahir. He might have traveled, but they'll not call it, and he will score. Something looked funky down there by that.
And the head coach has got the old arms outstretched. You know, that's sort of what he's thinking.
First lead change of the ball game. Namdar throws it away. He expected Stratch to cut on the pick and roll.
The give and not go there.
And we'll get our first subs into the ball game. Caden Koch will come out. That brings Sebastian Gaza into the ball game. Sebastian is 6'9", sophomore out of Stuttgart, Germany. Averaging just a point a game. Abdi, top of the key. Dingwall on him defensively. Now Raven Brown playing on Jake Maddox. Knocks it away from behind. It's taken away. Long pass up ahead to Brown. He will be 1-on-4, and Gentry knocks it away, and it will stay Colorado Northwestern basketball. And that's exactly what Coach Schmidt was talking about. Better energy. If there's a loose ball, I want somebody on the floor to go get it. Jalen Gentry illustrating that point right there.
I think Peyton Williams would appreciate that of our volleyball team. Oh boy.
Yeah, especially after this past weekend for sure. 3 minutes gone by. Central with a 4-2 lead. Dingwall, baseline, floater 10. Nope, got his own rebound, fires it up and in. And we are tied for a second time. Jake Long had fallen down as they need some help on the inbound. They'll get it to Dahir at midcourt, who flips it back to Gentry.
Bit of a nuisance press being applied early by Northwest.
Richard at the top. Dahir back to Davis. First three of the night on the way, no good. And it will go out of bounds off of Raven Brown, and it will be Central basketball.
I think Lee might have avoided an offensive foul, perhaps from being over the back.
Dahir and Stephen Long will check out, as Johnny Levias will check into the ball game. Also in comes Jalen Searles. They'll get it at the top to Searles. Jalen, 6'7", freshman out of Seattle. And Johnny Levias, a 6'5", freshman from Vallejo, California. Central passing the perimeter. Searles up top. Levias penetrates for 8, left it short. Brown the rebound. Central right now 2 of 8. Brown rejected and fouled by Levias, and he might not have got him, but I think just the arm action is enough to draw
the, I think got him on the shoulder, in fact.
Draw the foul on that, as Levias will pick up his first, newly inserted into the lineup, and that will send Raven Brown to the free throw line. And we'll get our first timeout of the contest. 32nd timeout called by head coach Brad Schmidt. And the game is over in Torrington, but
pretty early start. Is there just a single game being played there, or are the guys playing somebody else after that, or is it one of those distance early start times?
I do not know. We'll have to archive that and check it out for you, but Eastern Wyoming was leading into double digits when this game started, so I apologize to our friends at Colorado Northwestern. Appreciate you watching on RustlerAthletics.com. 16:03 you see the right side corner. Left side corner is your quarter that sometimes gets lost in the court like it is into that NJCAA logo, as Raven Brown's first free throw is good. And we have our second lead change of the game. 5-4 Spartans. Second, good as well. Namdar will D up Gentry at the midcourt stripe. Central down by a bucket. We've played 4 minutes of basketball. Gaza way high post to Searles. Back to Gentry. Jalen to Davis Richard. Had a good look on his first three, just couldn't knock it down. Shot clock down to 7. Levias up top. Gentry at the 3. Back of the iron, no good. Brown the rebound, and he's going to take off and will flush it. Central didn't get a good look as they used all of the shot clock and ended up giving a long rebound and an easy bucket. Gentry for 3 again, back of the iron. Searles, though, the rebound. Up top, Davis Richard open for three, and that's the Davis Richard we know.
The Davis Richard that's now starting.
Yes, exactly. Averages 4 a game. Namdar for three, no good. Back the other way, here comes Searles as this pulls down a second rebound. Davis back-to-back trifectas, and then has something to say to the bench of the Spartans as he's given his team back a 10-8 lead. Back-to-back threes by Davis Richard. He's 2 for 3 on the night. Dingwall for three. Clangs one off the back of the iron, and Davis Richard the rebound. Long pass up ahead to Gentry. He'll drive, dished. Sebastian laid up and in. Nice dish by the point guard Gentry. And out of the timeout, Central is blazed to a 4-point lead on back-to-back threes by Davis, and then a nice dish by Gentry to Gaza to put up a 12-8 advantage.
They're causing 2 very early timeouts in this contest.
That one just kind of exploded on Colorado Northwestern. Back-to-back threes by Davis Richard. Again, 2 for 3 he is from the stripe to get things started. And C-Dub volleyball team having a good time down on the floor here. Want to introduce our student crew here tonight because there's all 3 of them as had a little quarantine go through the program, and they're flying without their instructor tonight. And Wyatt Barichka is by his lonesome directing tonight. Riley Bouillon and Newmark Rika Franca are running our cameras here at the top of the gym, and I'm sure they're doing a stellar job as I'm watching a part of it online, and that is all part of the new media program at Central Wyoming College under the direction of Professor Amanda Nikoloff.
Sam Orton into the ball game for Colorado Northwestern from Kanab, which is right next to Zion National Park in southwest Utah.
6'3" freshman wearing number 21.
Stagger flare! Stagger flare!
They're going to run stagger flare, if you can hear Raven Brown underneath the hoop mic. Got a new rustler into the game as well. Jake Maddox has come in for shot on the way is no good. And the rebound pulled down by Searles. Got 2 new rustlers in as Jack Klumach is in as well. One is Jake Maddox, the other Jake Klumach. Baseline is that ball just thrown away, unfortunately, by Searles. We'll talk about Searles here in a minute, as that'll be a block by Levias. They'll go to the ground. It's out of bounds in Central basketball. And Jack Klumach kind of gets pushed out of the way by one of his player helping up Raven Brown. Raven Brown gives him a 5 and says, hey, it's nothing personal, and they're all right with everything. Jalen Searles has some athletic tape above his left eye and suffered some stitches at an at-home accident last week and was questionable to play last week. Did play. You can see it over his right eye as he has the ball at the top of the key. Gets a hand check from Dingwall. Dingwall impeding his progress. Going to be the first, actually going to be the second foul of the game. Raven Brown has one, now Dingwall has one. Maddox will inbound underneath their own window and to the left. Flips it up top to Gaza, now right side to Searles. Maddox gets open for 3, that one misses everything. Unfortunately an air ball, but fortunately a rebound on the offensive end by Levias. In the paint, Klubach will put one in from about 6 feet out. Central has opened up a 6-point advantage now, their biggest of the basketball game, 14-8, 13 minutes and change left to play first half. Brown falls down, they'll call him for a carry on top of it, and that'll be turnover number 3 on Colorado Northwestern. See the CWC volleyball team in-house, we see the CWC women's basketball team in the house. Substitutions as Koch comes back into the ball game for Central. They're going to get a hold, and it's going to go against Bol Niang, excuse me, as he has just come into the lineup. Bol is a 6'7" freshman from Dallas, Texas.
Do the teams have to be in the lottery as well to get tickets? Because the whole volleyball team's seems to have hit the jackpot or something.
Yeah, I am not 100% sure on the logistics of that. That would be an athletics question. I'm on a need-to-know basis, and I didn't need to know that. Nice move. Levias runs to the rack, but he's going to be blocked out of there by Chol Dang Wall. Boy, I butchered that. I'm sorry, Chol. Namdar. Colorado Northwestern 3 of 9 from the field. Central 6 of 15. Dang Wall down the lane. Right-hand runner. Good and one by Chol Dang Wall.
Kind of a little scoop with an elongated arm there, putting it up and in.
Jalen Searles will get the foul. Third team foul, first personal. Trayvon Kaysen into the ball game for the Spartans as well, a 6-foot freshman from Eatonville, Florida. Free throw is no good, and the rebound by Central. Searles stops for 17, drains it.
Well, they just let him have that shot that time, and he, nails it.
Might have been closer to 15, but he puts it in nonetheless. Back to a 6-point lead. Namdar, the ball almost knocked away. Well, it was knocked away, but out of bounds by Levias. Central looking for their first win of the season on the hardwood as Dan Wall just pushes Searles out of the way. Baseline 15-footer is not good, and that'll be pulled down by Levias. Klumak, left side corner Maddox, back up to Jack. Kicks it outside, three-pointer on the way is an air ball again. Boy, they have hit a couple, but they've also missed a few.
Davis Richard has hit a couple.
Yeah, Davis Richard has.
After that, it's a bit of a drop-off on the threes.
Colorado Northwestern working the offense. Maddox D'ing up Namdar. Two new Spartans will come in next dead ball, and that ball just thrown away. Dead even in the
pass at his ankle, sorry.
Dead even in the turnovers as Stevens checks back in, so does Stratch.
Had to figure out which was the game ball because the other loose balls are in that corner there, so maybe even a medicine ball, who knows.
Stephen Long back into the ball game, as is Abdi Dahir, along with Klumak, Maddox, and Koch for CWC. Nearing the midpoint of half number one, 16-10 Rustlers. Top of the key, Maddox. Namdar on him. Hands it back outside Klumak. Now Long tries baseline, shut off there, and actually ended up stepping on the end line as Sam Orton played defense on him to the baseline and got him to step out of bounds, and the turnover will be number 5 on Central. And then an offensive foul coming your way. That'll be a turnover there on Colorado Northwestern as Trayvon Kaysen called for the offensive charge. Gentry will return next dead ball. Maddox in the corner after the drive and dish. He gets boxed out of there. And the rebound by Sam Orton. Central right now 2 of 10 from the arc. Underneath, thrown away, is right into the hands of Stephen Long, and then he's going to have it stripped by Azarian Stevens right in front of the CWC women's volleyball team in the cheering section.
You get a lot of practice cheering when they're actually competing.
Yes. Abdi and an offensive foul on Jalen Gentry running through the pack. After he set a pick, he took off running. Turnover number 6 on Central.
Game with absolutely no rhythm at this point, it seems like.
Yeah,
a lot of stops, official whistles.
Had a rhythm for about 45 seconds with a couple of threes and a nice dish, but that has since dissipated. Namdar, top, Stevens, 3 on the way, got it. Third leading scorer in the SWAC last year. Central almost backcourt violations. Davis Richard back into the game as Stevens gets a 3 to fall. 3 by a Dahir, and that's not close. Another clanger off the back of the iron, and Namdar the rebound. Long 3 up ahead, no good. Offensive rebound though, and another 3 on the way. That one is good, and we are tied as Raven Brown Knocks down the triple. 16 apiece. 10:01 remaining. And we've got a timeout on the floor, just a 30-second timeout. Want to remind you of our CWC bookstore, as they are open 24/7 for all your Rustler gear, apparel, all your books and supplies and everything else. And those of you that need Rustler gear, you can check that out, cwcbookstore.com. Get all the orange and black that you need. Rustlers women's basketball team will be on the court Wednesday when they head to Rangeley, Colorado. They will play Colorado Northwestern on the road. And then both Central teams will head to Idaho this weekend. They'll play at College of Southern Idaho in Twin Falls against California Christian and CSI. Women's volleyball home this weekend. And with it being a tournament, it'll be interesting to see what the crowd situation is going to be like. Gentry shaking and baking. Goes back up top. Davis Richard for threes. 3 for 4.
Kind of sticks out his tongue after he made that shot, shaking his head as he went down court.
19-16 Rustlers. 3 ties, 3 lead changes. Ball knocked out of there by Stephen Long. Taken away by Long. He'll go the distance. Have it stripped by Stevens. Right at the last second. Underneath alley-oop. No, I'm not sure what that was, but picking it up.
There's a pass that hit the rim is what it was.
Koch will take the rebound as Orton picked it up, took it down the lane. Dahir hooks it in the corner. There's Davis Richard on the three-point line. How about another one? He's 4 of 5, and he's already at his average of 4 3-pointers a game. Davis Richard, 4 3-pointers. He's got 12. And now we've got our media timeout, and we will take it with him. 9:04 left to play first half. Central 22, Colorado Northwestern 16. We'll be back after this on 88.1. Hate to interrupt that, but both teams bounce out of the timeout early. Substitutions as Cholding Wall will check in for Colorado Northwestern. They had 6 out there to start, but the referee says, no, you can't do that.
They're going to do like a 5-and-1, put a man on Davis, I think.
Might have to, as hot as he started. 4 out of 5. Stevens, nice pass underneath, and Brown traveled with it first. Took the steps and go the other way. That was a great look, but couldn't execute and finish as the travel preempts that. 22-16 Rustlers, 9 minutes left to play in the first half.
Interesting, last time Davis Richard made the 2 threes, the lead went to 6, and he makes 2 here. Lead goes to 6 again.
12 points already for Davis Richard. He's way downtown now. He faked it, but Stretch says, I don't think so. 3 by Searles is good. Central now is 5 of 14 from three-point land, 36%. Dingwall runs it past Koch and finger rolls it in over the top of Koch. Central's biggest lead was of 9 a moment ago as Gentry's 3 is off the mark. Dingwall the rebound. Nearing 7 o'clock as Brown drives the lane. Dahir just swipes it right out of his hands. Abdi with a steal. Left side, Gentry underneath. Searles with the slam.
Well, Gentry doing what the point guard's supposed to do, a perfect feed and the finish.
Another dish. He averages just 3 a game. He's already got 2 already in this one. 3 by Namdar. That one's no good. Searles another rebound. Colorado Northwestern 7 of 17 from the field as there's a blocking foul underneath. Going to be called on Stratch. They are 7 of 17 from the field, 2 of 8 from the three-point line. Jordan Stratch gets called for his first personal, 5th team foul. Gaza will check back into the game for Koch. Davis Richard will trigger the ball inbound with Azarian Stevens in his grill. Central a 9-point advantage, matching their largest. And they throw it away on the inbound. Taken away and then knocked out of bounds by Central off the Colorado Northwestern player, and we'll just trade turnovers out of that.
He was battling the dribble kind of the whole way, and that was CWC took advantage of that at the end, blocking him down.
Chol Deng-Wall got it blocked off of his leg by Searles. They're talking about it down there. Searles keeps throwing his hands off of him, and referee will intervene now. Abdi pump fake, baseline, got him in the air, missed it, and scratched the rebound. A couple of fresh rustlers will check in, Klumak and Sims. Stratch runs into Gaza, and he'll go down hard. And he'll just throw it away, basically, and then Central will return the favor and throw it away. Stratch went down hard, and he wants to come out of the game. Klumak and Trey Sims will check into the ballgame. First time we see Trey Sims, the 6'5 freshman out of Ogden, as Davis Richard will exit. He's in the process. Davis Richard was 6 of 10 against Salt Lake.
I think we've seen everybody but Caleb Koski, if I'm not mistaken.
He was 4 of 9 against Lamar, 6 of 12 against Salt Lake, 4 of 7 against Snow. As Davis Richard, 3 on the other side, no good. And then Central comes down hard and the ball goes away. Did Klumak and Searles get tied up?
Yeah, they just collided. They're going for the rebound, and Searles got the worst of it.
Ouch. Abdi will check out. So Central, unfortunately, with 10 turnovers, on pace for a lot, as Chol Deng-Wall steps up. They left him wide open, and he buries the 3.
Yeah, hit the line drive.
6'8" frame out there shooting 3. Searles flying in, falls down, ends up getting the rebound flat on his back. Why not? Underneath, reverse, Gaza! Didn't see who gave him the dish, but he knocks it down. Stevens. Searles on the assist. Stevens penetrates, stops, baseline, Brown, and he will be fouled and go to the line. Gaza, I don't know if Gaza was raising his hand or collecting everybody for a team meeting.
Gets tied up with another player
Brown
as they come to arms there.
Brown was about to have a team meeting in the suburbs of the Central team meeting. Going to give the foul, though, to Johnny Levias. And he will knock down the first. 10 points for Raven Brown. Second one is good. Jake Rosenberg will join us here at the half. Central by 6, 29-23. Klumak in the midcourt Central Wyoming logo. Has a Spartan in his face, and a block and a rejection by Kaysen, but then a late whistle comes in on the foul. I thought he got him pretty clean. He might have got him with the body. Referee says hit him on the hand. Kaysen will get his second personal foul, and that is going to send Jack Klumak to the free throw line. Central 76 up from the line. Klumak, best percentage on the team, 13 of 14 is 93%. He'll continue that pace, knocking in the first one. 30-23 C-Dubs, 6 minutes left to play in the first half from the CWC campus in Riverton. Second one, good. 8-point Rustler lead. Brown, Klumak on him defensively. Deng-Wall pump fakes on Gaza, then runs past him, but he's got it pilfered by Sims. Trey gives it up ahead to Levias. Alley-oop, flush it down by Jalen Searles. Nice play by Levias, coming the other way. Brown missed it. Levias the rebound. Then a steal by Deng-Wall, but he dribbles it on the sideline. Teams will trade turnovers there.
CWC looking for their first win of the year after 4 games against very tough competition.
Dropped an 87-80 decision, and that ball's thrown away by Klumak. Just taken away by Brown. He'll go the distance and struggled a bit with Klumak in his face, but he gets it to drop. Up ahead underneath, Sims lets his man run past him and lays it off glass and in. I think Levias with another assist. Central 35-25, a 10-point lead, their biggest. Knifing through, and a blocking foul as Kaysen went down the right side of the lane.
I guess more of a reach foul. I think the block came later.
Foul is on Klumak is first. 6th team foul on the Rustlers, so not shooting yet, but shooting is Niang. His 3 is off the mark, and another rebound by Johnny Levias, his 4th of the game. Colorado Northwestern, 3 of 11 from the arc, 27%. Sims, not sure if Kaysen got tangled up there. Searles wide open underneath. Sims got free, lays it up and missed it.
Well, a tough angle. I think he was too far under the backboard, and Klumak will commit the foul.
Niang with the rebound, and Jack Klumak 90 feet from the hoop. Going to get foul number 2, and that will put Colorado Northwestern at the line. Gentry, Koch, and Davis Richard back into the contest for Central as Searles and Levias will stay with 4:33 left in the first half of basketball.
You know, Davis Richard reminds me of the early teams of CWC where you had this guy that just could shoot, you know. In CWC, that was what they did. They tried to outshoot you from 3 in the early days, you know.
1 in the bonus, not good. Searles already his 8th rebound to go along with 9 points. Working on a first half double-double is Jalen Searles. Gentry to Richard. Davis goes baseline. Levias. Bodies collide. Shot missed. Dengwall's going to go the distance and be fouled on the other end, and he'll go to the line.
He was just weaving his way down the court there.
Chol Dengwall, 6 points, 9 boards. And he will go to the line as Johnny Levias just gets his 3rd personal foul. Dengwall at the line. Free throw is good. Coach Nathan Tarrant thought he was going to be a pretty good performer for his team, and I think that's adding up for sure as Abdi Dahir checks in for Johnny Levias with 4:08 remaining in the first half. Central by 9. Stays 9 as Dahir will get the rebound.
Russell's having played 11 players in the contest. I think
Davis wide open.
Has played everybody.
Left it short. Crowd with anticipated bated breath expects it each time now. He's 4 of 6 from the stripe. Defensively, nice job by Davis Richard on Stevens to not let him get a shot away. Brown step back into the paint. Abdi got a piece of it on Niang, and he'll throw it away.
I think trying too hard to throw the perfect pass a couple times has burnt the Spartans.
Stephen Long into the ball game. Sam Orton into the ball game. Orton for Colorado Northwestern. Road Reds with the black numerals. Kind of hard to see from the top of the gym without any contrast between the two, but doing our best. Gentry, guarded by Kaysen. To Dahir, Abdi. Baseline, long for 3. High arcer, no good. But Abdi Dahir will run down an offensive rebound. Davis Richard from a long 3 is not going to fly in, and then Koch will be over the back on the rebound.
Wonder if you wore red lenses. Seriously, if that would mean
just
the color would come out.
Showed the black. Gonna see, you have any?
I have half a pair of 3D glasses at home. We could
run home at halftime and get those, would you? Stratch coming back into the ball game. Chol Dengwall free throw is good. The Spartans 6 of 9 from the line, now 6 of 10, but rebound by Orton, and a jump ball call. Central on the arrow. 3 and change left in the first half from Central Wyoming College. Long into the paint, Gentry, back out to Richard, now Jalen again. 14 on the shot clock. Boy, we have not seen much close to a shot clock violation. Each team getting that ball put up in a hurry. 5 to shoot. Richard floater left hand, 15-footer is no good. Orton the rebound. Back the other way, Colorado Northwestern. Choldeng Wall, long 3. Kiram's off the glass and saving it is Orton. He'll give it to Brown, who will give the flush.
And those 2 points are really responsible for the save, or the save is responsible for the 2 points, I guess I tried to say.
Down to a 6-point game now. Long looked awkward at midcourt. There's a foul by Raven. Brown out at the midcourt stripe is going to be team foul number 7, and Jalen Gentry will go to the line. Jalen, 81% free throw shooter, 37% from the arc. Searle's going to check back into the Central lineup as he'll come in for Stephen Long, and Abdi Dahir will go down to the low block to rebound. Stephen Long getting the start. He's got 3 rebounds here tonight. 2:17 remains in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll give you some statistics, and we'll also talk a little bit of CWC soccer as Gentry's first point of the game. Central's leading scorer at 15 a game gets his first point of the game at the 2:17 mark of the first half. Lefty's second one much better than the first, but still same result. Central back out in front by 8 now. Brown to Stevens. He has 5 points. I would assume their leading scorers. He'll drive. That one left short. Koch the rebound. Up ahead to Abdi. He'll take it the distance, lay it up and in. Nice outlet pass by Koch to spark the transition bucket. Central back up by 10. Deng Wall for 3. Got another one.
Really seems like Dahir's all-around game has progressed since last year.
Davis Richard for 3, pull the trigger, ring the bell. His 5th of the game. And due to COVID times, no State Farm 3-pointers on the wall. But if they were doing it, that would be the 6th one. Stratch for 3, that one's no good. To hear the rebound. Abdi long pass up ahead. Searles, shake and bake, 15-footer right side angle, no, but he's fouled by Stratch.
Stratch caught him in the face, kind of a follow-through.
And kind of the way the half is coming to an end is maybe a little touch of danger zone for Colorado Northwestern here in the final 60, 75 seconds of the half.
I thought when they were down by 7, they were actually not in a bad spot because they had been outplayed, but to keep it in single digits, and now it's double digits +1.
Searles, free throw connects. 10 points, 8 rebounds in the first half for Jalen Searles coming off the bench. Central's bench with 20 points here, not 21. And I believe Colorado Northwestern's bench yet to score in this ball game.
Namdar back into the ball game for the first time in quite a while.
Starter, in fact, as Orton gives it to Namdar. Got a double pick and then doesn't do anything with it, and instead throws it away. Orton's going to...
They show some signs of it being their first game.
Right, exactly. Shot clock at 5. Deng Wall with Koch in his face. Not sure if he knows the shot clock. He'll fly one anyway and miss it badly. Another rebound, Searles. That's one away from the double-double. Abdi underneath misses it. Koch puts it back up and in. Choldale, Deng Wall, I cannot get his name right. And I apologize greatly for that, as that ball just sails out of bounds and Central will get it back. It's, like I said, danger zone is all of a sudden a 14-point advantage.
And CWC looking at the last shot of the half.
I think just some fatigue setting in a little bit here towards the end of the half. A lot of Spartans bent over. Shot clock put to bed. Central with 15 on the game clock to shoot. Davis Richard to to Dahir. Abdi drives the lane. He'll go over the top and be fouled by Deng Wall. Got him with the body. And Abdi, with 6 seconds left, will go to the line.
Deng Wall saying that he was fended off. I did not see that, but that is what he is saying.
14 points and 6 boards for Chol Deng Wall, his second personal foul. And Abdi Dahir will go to the line. 6 points, 4 rebounds for Abdi. 6 of 12 on the season, raises that average above 50% now with that free throw. Klumach back into the game for Koch. Don't want to get him a third foul in the final 6 seconds. Abdi, second one good. 5 3-pointers for Davis Richard, 5 of 7 by the way. Namdar at the buzzer, long 3, had a pretty good look at it. And that's how the half will come to an end. Our score at the intermission, Central on a run at the end of the last 2 minutes of that first half, and they have posted a 16-point advantage on the visitors from Colorado Northwestern. Our score at the break, Central 48, Colorado Northwestern 32. We'll be back with a look at some stats. We'll also talk some soccer, as we'll talk with our interim head coach, and we'll do that after this timeout. This is Rustler Basketball on 88.1, streaming live on rustlerathletics.com. We are at the intermission at Central Wyoming College, where the CWC Rustlers enjoy a 16-point advantage right now at 48-32 as they outdistance the Spartans there in that last couple of minutes of the first half, and we'll bring you some statistics from that first half coming up in just a few minutes. Right now we're going to turn our attention to soccer because it was pretty warm outside today. And Jake, I asked you this before. What do you prefer?
Jake is good. Jake works.
Jake Rosenberg is our interim, or are you our head coach?
Interim.
Okay, I'm going to pull this just away from you just a little bit there. Interim head coach for men's and women's soccer. You were familiar with the program, obviously. Tell us a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm from New York, and I had a connection with the previous coach through a family friend, and he brought me out here. I was looking for a coaching job, and now I'm here, and now things are changing, but I'm ready to take the reins.
What is happening with CWC soccer right now? I mean, how much contact? Can you have workouts? Can you have practices? What is going on with CWC soccer?
Yeah, so until March 15th, we're in the off season, so I can only spend about 8 hours a week with both the girls and the boys. But we're working on conditioning right now. We're doing some weight room stuff, and starting in a week or two, we'll get back in the gym, going to work.
Were you here for that first season, or did you come after the first season that didn't happen in the fall?
I got here in July, so
Okay.
we were supposed to have a season, and it swiftly got postponed. So our first game now is April 1st, and we have a very condensed schedule. We're going from April 1st to the middle of May. We've got about 12 games in a span of 6 weeks, so we'll be on the road.
How has the roster survived between year one, year two, pandemic thrown in, new coach? Have you had to recruit more kids? Did you recruit more kids? How has that been?
Yeah, so we have some stayed over from last year. Our men's team has a bunch of returners, and our women's team has about 2 or 3. But it's just about keeping these kids, keeping them positive. It's a tough time to be a college kid right now, and I can only imagine what they're going through. So I'm just trying to make it easier on them, trying to make their adjustment easier here, whether they're from Riverton or whether they're from another state or wherever. It's really just about working with them.
How has your adjustment been? Have you been to Wyoming? Where are you from originally?
I am from New York City, so it's a little bit different from here.
Just a tad.
But I was in Wyoming for a few days about 10 years ago with family. I wasn't in the town specifically, but I was around, and the adjustment's been good. I came out here to work, so that's what I'm here to do.
All right.
Is this team made up mostly of recruits Brooks had got earlier, or you've been able to get some players that you had pursued as well?
The team is all made up of recruits that Brooks was able to get. We have a new girl this semester who just got here about a week ago, who I was able to work with him to get. But they've welcomed me with open arms. I really appreciate their attitudes.
We're talking with Jake Rosenberg, our interim soccer coach at Central Wyoming College.
And how hard is it coaching both the guys and gals at the same time? It strikes me as a real challenge.
Yeah, it's not what I had in mind coming here, but it's been a blessing in disguise. I learn a lot from both teams, different things. I'm trying to get the girls to, really trust me, and that's something that is on me. They don't really have a female coach to look up to, which is unfortunate for them, but I'm just trying to work with them every day and get closer.
That was going to be my next question. Have you got an assistant coach?
We're on the same page.
No, I don't right now. Hopefully by March 1st we'll have 1 or 2 in-house, but for the month of February, it's just me.
Joel's free in the afternoons if
There you go. I could use a hand.
So, 12 games you said in about 6 weeks, so definitely is condensed. Will there be a postseason and something to play for? I hope there is, obviously.
Yeah, there will be a postseason tournament, and that's what we're aiming for. Right now we're just taking it one practice at a time, so I really haven't thought that far ahead, but we're going to get there. We've got the talent.
Do you know at this early stage where your strengths and weaknesses of your two teams are at this point?
Yeah, I would say the strengths of both of our teams are our defense. We've got a lot of leadership on the defensive lines of both teams. Our goalie on our men's team, Danny Morales, he just got a full scholarship to Simpson University in California. He's a real talent and a great kid, a really great kid. And we have girls who are looking to pursue their careers at a bunch of different colleges after they leave here. So it's really just about getting their work ethic together and trying to make them into an everyday athlete as opposed to an athlete 2 or 3 times a week.
All right. Yeah. Job interviews, I can't ask any personal information, but we're on a radio interview. So married, kids, family, what do we know about Jake Rosenberg?
Not married, no kids, 24 years old, so I'm almost the same age as the kids. Family at home is rooting me on. I know they're listening right now. And I really appreciate all their support. I know some of my friends checking in on me every day, and I really couldn't ask for more. So it's just me out here, but I'm really focused on the team and working with them every day.
We are rooting for you as well.
Hope the big city treats you well.
The big city of River City.
Oh, it is.
Any final thoughts, Jake, you want to impart on us about CWC men's and women's soccer right now?
Just about CWC as a whole, I really appreciate them welcoming me with open arms. It's not every day you see someone from so far away come in here and be accepted like this, so I really appreciate it. And both of our teams are just full of such great kids, really, really great kids. So keep an eye on us. We're going places.
Great to meet you. Look forward to talking with you more as we have our Rustler Sports Report talk show come up, and working on a video podcast of that, which I don't know if they want to see Joel and I, but nonetheless. Thank you for coming up. Great to meet you. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you down the season.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. Stay with us. We'll take a quick look at your statistics after this. That is our head soccer coach, Jake Rosenberg. Stay with us. Statistics after this. Central up at the intermission, 48-32. Thanks to Jake Rosenberg. He is our soccer coach at Central Wyoming College, for coming up. My first chance to meet him, and I believe yours as well. As we are at the break, Central leading 48-32. Both teams back out onto the court to play the second half of this one. Central with the lead. Looking at your leading scorers in the ball game, Davis Richard on the strength. Let me see what they've got him at. 5 of 8 they have him at for 3-point shots. I thought I had him at 5 of 7, but I am doing 14 different things here. But they call him 5 of 8 at the half. 15 points to lead the way for CWC. Jalen Searles I have for 11 points and 9 rebounds, nearly the double-double in the first half. Abdi Dahir, 8 points, 4 boards. Johnny Levias has not scored, but he has 4 rebounds in the ball game. Sebastian Gaza, 4 points. Caden Koch, 2 points, 4 rebounds in the contest. Central out-rebounding the opponents here 29-18 in the first half of the game. So that is where those stats line up right now. Chol Dang Wall, 14 points to lead Colorado Northwestern. Raven Brown has 13. Azarian Stevens, the third leading scorer in the Southwest Conference last year, right now held to just 5 points in the first half of the game. 48-32 Central the lead. Both teams with 11 turnovers in the first half of basketball.
Just, you can see where CWC's ahead because of all the people that have contributed, I guess, is probably the big factor that you look at right there. Whereas Colorado Northwestern, it just isn't the same thing.
First half shooting in the ball game, Central 17 of 39. That's 44%. They would hit 6 of 17 threes. They average 10 threes a ball game, and they're at 35% right now. Their three-point shooting is 34%, so they're pretty much on track with what they normally do. As far as the shooting, they did hit 8 of 9 free throws. Colorado Northwestern, 11 of 31 from the field, 36%. They hit 4 of 16 from the arc, 6 of 10 from the free throw line. And right now Central with a 48-32 lead, and we'll be back with the second half of basketball after this timeout. CWC will be on defense when we return for the second half on 88.1, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. Buzzer welcome you back to Rustler Gymnasium on the campus of Central Wyoming College in Riverton, Wyoming. I'm John Gabrielson, instructor of radio broadcasting, alongside Joel Kindle, the great Mystic One, as the Rustlers have a 16-point lead to start the second half. Stevens, Brown, Dingwall, Stratch, and Namdar, the five in their road reds with the black numbers for Colorado Northwestern. Central in their home whites, the orange numbers, the black trim. Gentry, Dahir, Koch, Long, and Richard to start the second half. It will be Colorado Northwestern basketball. Three on the way quickly by Stevens is nothing but the bottom of the net. Didn't even rattle the nylon.
Yeah, in the first few minutes, I think we're going to see if they can make a game out of it or the game is over with.
Good way to start as Koch rattles it underneath to Dahir on Dingwall. Puts it over the top, knocks it in. Abdi double figures now with 10 points. Dingwall, Koch moves very well for a big fella, bodies him up, but he'll still score. Might have been and one, in fact. The two teams trading buckets in the early stages of the second half. Dahir working baseline, shut off. Out to Long, might have carried it. Richard, Namdar in his face, gets a pick. Thought about a three, doesn't fire it. Shot clock down to 9. Dahir over the top of Dingwall, lays it off glass and in. Back-to-back buckets for Abdi Dahir.
I think Richard didn't fire because he was in motion. He usually sets before he shoots his threes.
Brown gets free in the lane on the other side quickly. As the two teams perfect from the field to begin the second half. Long for three, that's good to keep it perfect in the second half. Each team 3 for 3, and each team with a 3 and 2 buckets.
And that's a Brad Schmidt thing, calling a timeout after the make.
Calls the timeout quickly after that make. I'm gonna go look at something here real quick, as I believe Abdi's career high. He had 15 against Lamar, is Abdi's career high as a Rustler. I believe it was 13 last year. He's got 12 right now.
He wasn't a huge offensive player last year. It was more of a defensive, swatter.
When you had people like Darius and Rada and Jacob Smith and James Woods, you need that. That was your scoring right there, as Abdi has come on a different role this year.
But you're also seeing him handle the ball better this year as well.
Stevens' baseline three is off the back of the mark, and Koch will pull down the defensive rebound.
Using his body well there to block out the Spartan player.
First miss of the second half, now the second, as that ball ends up in the hands of Dingwall. And he'll go to the low block, finds Niang, who'll put it up and in. Bol Niang.
That was kind of a tough play because the pass came to him at his knee and he had to, regather and put it up and in.
9-7 the scoring in the second half right now in favor of Colorado Northwestern. They've chipped away that lead, but only by 2, as Central has shot well in the second half. Gentry to continue it? No. Koch,
he's not shot well tonight.
Koch with a nice athletic move to tip it back to himself and put it in. And now we'll get a timeout as Koch came out of his shoe.
And the coach has a good point. Why are you getting a timeout for a guy that just lost his shoe, and he's...
That was Brown that said that. Raven Brown, you could hear him say that as he ran and laid the ball in.
And the coach has talked to the official as well. Why?
It's already passed, and there's nothing you can do about it now, as Gaza will check in for Koch as he'll come adjust that shoe next to Coach Sam Harrison, the assistant. Isaiah, his name Cottrell? Let me make sure I'm pronouncing his name right. Cockrell, Isaiah Cockrell, first-year assistant for Nathan Tarrin. Sam Harrison, the first-year assistant for Coach Brad Schmidt. We played dead even in the second half to begin, as Dingwall, offensive foul on Stephen Long, and we'll go the other way, and I've seen worse, not called. Dingwall, though, will pick up his third personal. He is the first to 3 on the Colorado Northwestern side. Johnny Levias has 3 for Central. Namdar D'ing up Gentry on the inbound pass. 9 apiece here in the second half. Central still hanging on to that 16-point advantage. Gentry flips it out to DeHeer. He'll lay it in with a left hand.
That was odd looking, but it was effective.
14 points for Abdi, one away from his career high as a Rustler. And then there's a foul going the other way now on Abdi this time. Actually, it's on Stephen Long this time instead of Deng Wall, who was dribbling down the middle of the lane. Central's biggest lead of the night, an 18-point advantage, looking for their first win of the season. Inbounds shot no good.
I don't think that was the play. The play was to get right back to Brown after he inbounded the ball.
Gentry lay it in and one as he went down the left side of the lane and scores. Foul is whistled on Azarian Stevens, his first personal. Gentry's 4th point of the contest. Central's biggest lead of the game now of 20. Left-handed free throw shooter Gentry, as I mentioned, 81% from the stripe, a team that shoots 76%. Nothing but net. 21-point Rustler advantage now. We'll let more crowd in more often. Couldn't know with all the protocols.
I wonder if this is the limit too with the crowd as
tried to throw the ball down low to Niang, and
instead they played croquet with him.
Nobody was home, and out of bounds it goes, and Niang will go sit on the bench. 12th turnover of the contest.
Got to remember the team that just put the kibosh on us is in the same region with this team.
Right.
And that's not going to be fun.
Snow College that beat Central 109-67 is out of that same Region 18 as Colorado Northwestern. Abdi with 5 on the shot clock, rejected by Deng Wall, out of bounds. It stays Rustler basketball. Deng Wall is going to be a pretty good player. 16.7 rebounds. He's hit a couple of threes in fact. As Namdar will exit, and we'll see for the first time into the ballgame Corey Billy. 3 to shoot. Richard leaning in, shot clock violation. They'll let it go, and I really don't want to count that against him, but an alley-oop underneath. Reverse lay-in good by Brown.
Nice adjustment because he wasn't really in a situation where he could make the dunk on that.
Gentry back to DeHeer. 15-footer Abdi at the front, not good. Stevens.
DeHeer really looking at his offense here as we start the second half.
First rebound of the game for Stevens, and he'll go down the lane and lay it in and score. 10 points for Azarian Stevens. Underneath, Gentry got tangled up. Billy the rebound. Up ahead, Brown, lay it up and in, and might have been and one. And a quick run by the Spartans, cut it back down to 15. They've outscored Central 15-14 here. 4 new Rustlers will check in next whistle. Richard looking for picks, gives it back to Gentry. He'll light a 3 on the left side corner, no good. Long, the rebound, leans in and banks it off glass for the bucket. Orton attacks Gaza, lays it up and in. Went right at him and puts it off glass and scores, in a timeout called by Colorado Northwestern. I think we might see, I don't know if we have 4 or 5 new Rustlers coming in. We'll check it out after this. 64-49, Central the lead, 14:43 left. We'll be back after this. This is Rustler Radio on 88.1, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. 64-49, Rustlers out in front. They have the basketball. Jack Klumak into the ball game. To Jalen Searles, inserted as well. Left side, Levias running in, drops it off to Koch. He'll turn with a right hand over Dingwall and score. Nice play, Caden Koch.
An old-fashioned hook shot, not a sky hook, mind you, but
4 points for Koch, and then Stevens loses it out of bounds. Turnover number 13 on the visitors.
and Coach Tarrant kind of fake kicking his chair as that turnover occurred.
3-27 last year, the Spartans.
They got a lot of games in. I guess that's the highlight there.
Central went 20-10, just the fourth 20-win season for the Rustlers since bringing the sport back.
I think 2 of those 3 wins were against the same team, if I'm not mistaken.
Koch down low on Dingwall, spins, got him in the air, and Dingwall will get the rebound after some contact. Back the other way, shot off Kaysen, no good. Ball rejected. Shot in the paint is going to be good. Was that Kaysen or was that Brown that put that in?
I think it was Brown.
Ball down low. Kicked out. Maddox for 3. Ball is tipped out near midcourt and picked up by Levias. Central reload. Klumak fading in for 6-footer. That's no good, and Orton will come away with a Colorado Northwestern rebound. Dingwall knocked out of his hand, stays Spartan basketball as Namdar will check in. Again, appreciate you tuning in on RustlerAthletics.com. Again, the video provided by our new media degree at Central. 3 students manning the troops tonight, minus our instructor who has been sent home on quarantine, unfortunately. And then an offensive foul on Namdar will be a turnover on Colorado Northwestern.
They throw a technical in.
I was going to say,
was that a foul or did he just step on the line? Oh, it's a foul. And it is a technical.
Technical foul on the coach, on Coach Tarrant. He gets a high five from Brown. So Klumak will go shoot him, and why not? The kid's 107% from the line, just about. Hadn't shot a bunch.
Good. That's good shooting.
15 of 16 on the season from Newburgh, Oregon, and I hope I don't put the announcer hex on poor Jack as he knocks in the first. 16 points, the lead. Klumak is 5th of the game.
He's rocking the crisscross on the shoes.
Second one on the way is good as it rolls in. Thank you, Jack, for making those so it didn't reflect badly on me for calling you out on how good of a free throw shooter you are. David Simmenthal was in the tops of the country, if you remember, and I remember saying something, and I think he missed 3 out of 4 later that night. That ball poked out of bounds by Kaysen, and that's a mistake by Central, not telling him that there was a wolf at the door.
Simmenthal went on to play in the D.C. area. Where was that?
No, that was Connor Nelson, as Levias gets called for a travel on
Simmenthal went to Colorado, that's right.
Yeah, CSU Pueblo and American University, I think. Is that Connor Nelson?
That's in D.C.
There you go. Turnover number 12 on the Rustlers, their first of the second half as we've played 7 minutes. Brown falls to the ground. He might be injured as he turns that one over. He might not be as he just gets up. And then a foul at midcourt. Going to be whistled on Colorado Northwestern.
Interesting, he committed the foul just to give his teammate a chance to get back, but in doing so, he committed the 4th foul.
Yeah, costly one for Chol Dingwall.
But there was really no defense being played. It was simply a foul.
Well, and it wasn't like there was a breakaway either, that it was going to be a guaranteed couple of points there. But Chol Dingwall will come out as Jordan Stratz will re-enter the lineup. Orton is going to leave as well.
Lead approximately where it was at halftime.
Central's actually outscored, as you mentioned, approximately outscored Spartans by 1 here in the second half. Levias backing down. Stevens has it knocked out of his hands, taken away by Namdar. Pass up ahead. Trayvon Kaysen to Stratch, and he'll get it to go, and he's fouled by Jalen Searles.
That did not look like it was going to go in when he left it, put it up there, but it does fall.
One of them called it, though. You could hear him say, and one, and it drops in for sure. And Jordan Stratch to the line, one of 3 returners for Coach Taryn. How about these new rankings this week? Salt Lake is now 3rd in the country, as that one is good. Snow is not ranked, and they are the very last team of about 20 of receiving votes after they pummeled Central by 40-something last week. Lost on a buzzer beater. Ball poked out of bounds by Stratch. It will stay Central basketball. College of Southern Idaho falls down to 17. That's who Central will play Saturday. And then Western Wyoming falls down to 21 as Levias twice. He'll get fouled on the second one down low. He will go shoot some free throws. Foul is on Azarian Stevens, his first. His second.
Women's poll come out today too, does it, or does that come out tomorrow?
The women's poll is out today as well.
I think we've seen some teams there.
Free throw by Levias on the way and good, you can hear. New poll out today, Western Nebraska 22nd. College of Southern Idaho, who beat them and stopped their 53-game home win streak, is 21.
Salt Lake and Southern Idaho, 20th and 21st.
Both free throws good by Levias. Back to a 17-point lead. Brown kicks it out to Namdar. Thought about a long 3 a couple of times. Nice cut. Koch will get in the air and foul Trayvon Kaysen. 3rd foul on Caden Koch. And it will send Trayvon Brown to the line. Yeah, Salt Lake, who CWC just fell to the women's side, who they'll play this weekend, College of Southern Idaho, is 3-1. Casper College ranked 10th in the country. Trinity Valley Community College is leading the pack at #1 ranking in the nation right now. Free throw was good by Kaysen, his first point of the game. Subs come in, his second one drops. As Gentry, Searles, Levias, Koch, and Davis Richard, and that ball kicked by Kaysen.
Well, proper, it is Super Bowl week.
Stops play. I think I heard the halftime show is going to be twice as long as normal.
It's too long as it were.
Kind of what I was thinking, but
it's interesting looking at grocery store ads. Typically they're huge. The Smith's ad this week says really nothing about the Super Bowl, and it was just such an interesting thing to see. I felt.
Avocados on sale?
They are 88 cents an avocado. I remember that.
Gonna get a foul on Trayvon Kaysen, kind of draped over Gentry. Trayvon will pick up his 3rd personal foul. That is the 6th team foul. I would say 7th team foul on the Spartans. So Central going to shoot the final 11:53 of the ball game. And Jalen Gentry back to the line. 5 points for Gentry. Jalen, where is he on my roster down here? Had him for 4 assists in the first half. Free throw is good.
I think he is about the only basketball player I've talked to this year, because it's really weird not having, conversations in the hallway with them or anything.
Nobody really gets to hang out and hang around and congregate, and it's same with all the sports, really.
And the athletes sit separately in the cafeteria to boot.
Gentry has 7 points, 5 for 5 from the charity stripe. Back to a 17-point Rustler advantage. 12 minutes left to play in the contest. Dahir will check in next whistle. Long 3, Brown. Nobody home but Levias to rebound it. 7 rebounds to Johnny Levias. floating for 12. Nicely done. Namdar brings it across the timeline. He'll push off of Levias, and they call a flop on Levias. So Levias will pick up his 4th personal foul.
He didn't even flop. He just kind of backed off.
I was going to say, backpedaled out of there.
Kind of like a minor shiver there.
Coming into the ball game, Sina, excuse me, not that's Bol Niang comes back in. Sorry, Sina Namdar is already out there. So they're not going to let the subs swap in on the flop or what? Now they will finally. Dahir and Long back in. Searles and Levias out. Good minutes out of those two tonight. Collectively, both coming off the bench. Searles 11 points, 9 rebounds. Levias 7 rebounds, 4 points. Central's bench 31 points. Colorado Northwestern's bench 6. Bounce to Orton. Brown has it back. Stevens will check in next whistle as well. Namdar for 3, not good. Niang throws it up in the air and saves it. Driving, Brown scoring, Brown. 23 points for Raven Brown. Underneath, Stratch with a rebound of a Central miss. Quickly, Brown, another bucket, 25 for Brown.
Nice switch of hands there.
13 in the first half, 12 in the second half by Raven Brown. Long 3, Davis Richard, no good. Koch, the rebound, bounces it on the floor once, and they'll call him for an offensive foul. Central is 0 from the 3-point line here in the second half. Actually, check that there, 1 of 7 as Stephen Long buried that first one that they shot. Koch will check out with his 4th personal foul. Sebastian Gaze will check in from Stuttgart, Germany. Three will drop for Azarian Stevens.
Even absorbed just a little bit of contact, perhaps some acting as well.
It's down to a 12-point game. Central had it up to 19 a moment ago. Now back down to 12 quickly. Underneath, Dahir working on Stratch, will be fouled by Stratch. 2nd personal foul on Jordan Stratch. 8th team foul. Abdi Dahir to the line, and Central's going to shoot a lot of free throws in this ball game. And the good news is they've hit 15 of 16 on this evening so far. We were stopped at the exact same place in the first half at 10:01. And I said the media timeout would be coming shortly. Abdi Dahir has tied his career high as a Rustler with 15. Actually, this one could tie that. And naturally, I jinxed that. So
we're going to see some bigger games than that from him this year, I am certain.
Ball poked out of bounds by Davis Richard. Media timeout at 9:55 left to play in the contest. Central by 13, CWC 75, Colorado Northwestern 62. Media timeout. We'll be back with more basketball from Rustler Gym after this on 88.1, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. Inside of 10 minutes left in the contest. Regulation time, 75-62, Central by 13. Namdar guarded by Richard. Underneath, Niang gets landed on by Abdi Dahir, and Abdi will commit the personal. That is just his first of the game.
I wonder if this is that 100-fan limit we have here right now.
I have to backtrack because Abdi has tied his career high of 15. I put his free throw stats in a different line. What was your question?
If this is at that 100 fans right now, the ball is stolen away there.
Have more. Abdi, pump fake, bank it. Got a new career high on the assist from Davis Richard.
I myself wanted to say Richards. I just do because of the players we had some time ago.
Coach does too, honestly. Driving, Stevens not scoring, but he'll go to the line.
Does Coach even know the Richards we know?
No, well, maybe because he did assist coach for Jamie Stevens up at Montana State Billings. That would have had maybe some conversations about those boys. Central foul is whistled on Gaza, his first.
And their dad, an outstanding BYU player, Doug Richards.
Stevens' free throw is at the line good. 14 points for Azarian Stevens. Searles and Koch back in for the Rustlers. Gaza and Long out. Deng Wall back in with those 4 personal fouls, as is Koch. But Johnny Levias has 4 for Central as well, as Stevens snaps nylon for the second time. 64-77, a 13-point differential. Central to lead, 77-64. Alley-oop pushed in by Searles. He didn't have the angle to jam at home, but a nice assist by Gentry, and Searles with an easy push in. Jalen 13 points with 9 rebounds. Bounce pass, Brown drives, and he'll be, wow, I thought fouled, and then Searles just throws it away, and it's got the rebound, but then they'll trade turnovers. And driving and scoring, Stevens, 17 now for Stevens.
Get a lot of points out of numbers 1 and 2, don't they?
Yeah, 42 points out of those 2 players right now. Searles dish. Abdi bucket is good as he adds to his career high. 19 points now for Abdi Dahir to lead all Rustler scorers. Get a little interference on the crowd mics. Deng Wall 3 doesn't go, and Searles, by my count now officially the double-double. I say by my count officially, it's by my count still unofficially. Gentry for 3. Good pick by Koch, and the lead is ballooned back to 18. 8:05 remaining in the contest. 3 on the way, Stratch, missed rim. Searles adding to his rebound total. Jalen kicks it corner, Abdi. Dahir runs into Stratch and will be fouled by Stratch. 3rd personal on Jordan. And that's where my stray foul comes from. He's got 4, I say now, for Stratch. Got myself back on track with the foul count. Abdi Dahir, 19 points, new career high, adding to it. 50% free throw shooter on the year, and he will knock that first one in. Shooting well here today from the line. Abdi is 4 of 6 from the stripe, 20 points. He had 8 points at half. Second one, good. 21 for Abdi.
Is Brad Schmidt our 5th coach, counting an interim coach in the middle there?
I'll have to do some quick math as that ball's booted out of bounds. You've got Jamie Stevens, you've got Curtis Condi, you've got Pat Rafferty, you have
the 6th then.
Yeah, you have then Shelby Lindley, Jack Nelson, and now Brad Schmidt. And out of those coaches in the 12 or 13 years, Brad Schmidt's 20 and 10 year last year, just the 4th 20-win season. Shelby Lindley had 1, Jack Nelson had 2, and then Brad Schmidt with 1. Searles for 3, got it. Largest lead of the basketball game now for Central after it looked like something was cooking for the visitors. They have been now pushed down by 23. Ball tapped out of bounds. It will stay Spartan basketball. 7 minutes left in the contest. Central looking to pick up their first W of the year as Trey Sims heads to the check-in stand and will check in for Davis Richard. 15 points for Davis, all on 5 3-pointers in the first half. Figure out what our static interference is coming from. Dengwall running past Koch, has to back off of him a bit, and the shot doesn't go. Searles, another board, kicks it out to Abdi for 3. That one's good. 24 for Dahir, and 13 rebounds for Jalen Searles with 16 points off the bench.
Interesting. Koch getting kind of physical down low. He was actually pushing mid-court.
He and Dengwall,
and again he pushed.
Pushed him completely out of the way. And then an offensive foul coming here, I think on Stratch, and that's his 5th personal foul. Jordan Stratch DQ'd on the 5 fouls. He'll check out with 2 points and 2 rebounds.
And Koch tries to give him a high five, and there's no taker on that one.
Not happening as Trayvon Kaysen returns. Also, Niang back into the game for the Spartans. And Coach Taryn has a coast-to-coast team. He's got people from all over the place in the country.
But doesn't everybody, it seems like almost, in junior college?
Yeah,
we don't so much.
You see a lot more
Yours is in the West.
concentrated as that ball's thrown away, and Klumak with an open field tackle, avoiding the pick 6.
And typically we have more than coast-to-coast in women's volleyball.
And internationally, yeah, absolutely. Klumak will get his 3rd personal foul. And at the line goes Trayvon Kaysen.
He's coast to coast because he's got a guy from Florida, I think, from the Sudan. But
10 of 15 from the stripe. The team, Kaysen 2 for 2.
We go from Germany to Oregon.
Free throw not good, but Dengwall the rebound, and then he'll just lose the handle on it. Klumak, who is on the ground for some reason, picks it up and hands it back. Underneath, Gaza was going to make a play, and he watches it ricochet off his head.
That was the no-look pass reception.
Bounce pass underneath. Dengwall is fouled. No, he's not going to be fouled. He's just knocked out of bounds by Sims from behind.
And he is frustrated at this point.
Yeah, I think he was going to flush that, and instead
he's frustrated.
Right. 26-point Rustler advantage, 92-66. 3, Dengwall, got it. 16, now 19 points for Chol Dengwall with 10 rebounds.
So the points are pretty much 3 players, aren't they?
Yes. 8 points have come from the other, somebody besides those 3 of their.
From the other 7.
Right. Searles for 3. They're just lighting it up now. After I said they only had 1 3, they have hit 4. 11 of 28, 39%. Dengwall running past Gaza, left it too short. Levias the rebound, 8 rebounds for Ajani. Kick it out to Klumak, he'll travel with it.
And really not getting back on defense either.
You can hear Johnny Levias coaching Jack Klumak under the hoop, saying to shoot it. We'll see Caleb Koski checking into the ball game for Jalen Searles. How about Jalen off the bench tonight? 19 points, 13 rebounds.
Koski from the same high school as Peyton Williams of our volleyball team.
Niang is going to be fouled by Gaza as they get one down, bounced on the low block. And that will send Bol Niang to the line. Sebastian Gaza's 2nd personal foul.
Peyton was telling me it's a pretty good sized high school, almost 4,000 is what she was saying.
It is pretty good size.
We had a kid from Plano on this team, and Plano East is the largest high school in Texas, I think at 6,800. And Plano is big as well.
Plano senior as Yang.
It's out the directional plane. The directional Plano is bigger than the main Plano in high schools.
Gaza out, long back in. First free throw was good. Second free throw is not, and we'll get a lane violation, and they'll just wipe it off. Couldn't go in anyway, and it will be Central basketball. 5:05 remaining in the contest. It's 8 o'clock at KCWC FM. Riverton, John Gabrielson, Joel Kindle. High atop Rustler Jim on 88-1. Levias with a nice move. Throws it away as trailing the play was Kaysen. Nice job. Long pass up ahead, Brown. Brown spins, right hand off glass, too high. Pushed back in by Dingwall. Thanks to Amanda Nikoloff in the new media class. And there's a foul there. And they want a goaltending, but they'll call a foul on the floor on Azarian Stevens, I do believe. Well, now they're going to talk about it. Yeah, we'll count the bucket.
It is interesting. We got a lucky break because we're in that position now. We can't see the calls quite often as they show it at the scorers table.
So Klumak with his eighth point of the game now. 4 in the first half, 4 in the second half, and a chance at 9 as they do give the goaltending on the call.
And we're in the suburbs of the century mark.
And we'll be a little bit closer. Rebound, Maddox, Klumak. He'll lean in, miss one, but he'll go back to the line. Just his second miss from the free throw line this season, and I didn't even say anything about how well he was shooting free throws prior to that. Orton will check into the lineup for Colorado Northwestern.
Yeah, that's a foul out as well for Dingwall as he takes off his jersey and is basically trying to get a couple teammates trying to give him some support on the bench.
11 points, or excuse me, 21 points, 11 rebounds for Chol Dingwall. They give him back his jersey and he still doesn't want it. Jack has missed 2 in a row now. Who is this kid? Back to the line, Klumak. Unfortunately, 3 in a row for Jack, who had come in on a blistering pace prior to that. 3 on the way, good by Raven Brown. 28 for Raven Brown. He has game high honors. Abdi Dahir has 24 for Central. Klumak bounce it down low. Levias, pump fake, lets everybody run past him, and then Niang will block it out of there. Taken away by Kaysen. Kaysen the distance. Rebound by Levias. Long pass up ahead. Trey Sims gets tea-kettled. And nobody's going to call a foul. They'll just call a turnover on the Rustlers.
And I think maybe because of the score being what it is, may have something to do with that as well.
I didn't see.
Feet got tangled.
I just saw the end result with cartwheel by Sims of the unintentional variety. Inside of 4 minutes left to play in the ballgame. 97-75 Central. Baseline, double clutch, miss Sims, and there was some contact there, but I think the score dictating a lot of no whistles until now, and then we'll get a block and count the bucket for Stephen Long. I think maybe just because of where he was on the court inside of this arc, of the charge arc by Trayvon Kaysen. And we see Maddox back into the ball game. Watching the replay here, and oh wow, he was outside of the arc.
That's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to contradict you.
On replay, it looked like it was a charge. You're absolutely right.
There's the century mark, by the way.
Steven pushes it to a 25-point game. Stevens runs past Klumak and lays it off glass and in. 19 for Azarian Stevens. Koski throws it away. Not going to make the coach too happy, even though they'll pick up their first win, it looks like. They do have 20 turnovers in this contest.
He's got to be happy about the win. You've got to get something in that W column, irregardless of how you do it, and then build from that. 41 points from the bench. I think Mike Yowell's texting me from the scoring table about free tacos. Central foul.
is on Trey Sims.
We can't even kid about him giving free policies anymore since he's out of the biz.
Right, free tacos.
Tell people to get to pick from his record collection. He loves his new record collection, his record collection he's been working on.
Free throw is good by Trayvon Kaysen. You've been offering some pointers?
I have, actually.
Being a record collector of your own. Second one is good by
of some notoriety, I guess.
Some acclaim. 100-79, and we have a pretty good table crew for sure here at Central, as we'll give them a little love.
Now they've gotten us off the table.
Exactly. Addition by subtraction. Mayor Rich Guard keeping the book.
Mike Yao is sitting in my place, actually, isn't he?
David Kelder at the scoreboard. Brett Evans. I'm about to call him Brett Michaels, but it's Michael Brett Evans. There's a
so similar, I could see that.
3 by Long. Doesn't happen at the end of the shot clock, and then Mike Yao running the game clock as Stevens launching for 3 is short. Rebound, Maddox.
This is just basically running out of time here.
Colorado Northwestern with a foul. It's Azarian Stevens is 4th.
I think for them, too, it's good to get a game under your belt.
Absolutely.
At least. It hasn't been what they wanted, certainly, but hey, we've played a game now.
300 days since they have played against another 5. And Maddox free throw is good. First point of the game for Jake. Biggest lead was 26. It's 22 now, 2:31 remaining. Then, of course, you have Sarah Watson, Adam Simon, and Steve Barlow, your athletic staff out there on the table, keeping stats and PA announcing and running the video board and some tunes and good game day table at Central Wyoming College. Backdoor, Stevens laid up and in. Nice dish by Brown. 21 for Stevens. The bench has 9 points for Colorado Northwestern, and then the other 3 points, the other 3 players, not their starting 5, but those other 3 with the rest. Maddox for 3, knock it down. 12th three-pointer of the ball game, and a timeout called for Central. 12 of 30, 40% from the arc.
Sure that's not the 2-minute warning?
Could be in honor of the Super Bowl. 105-81 Central out in front. 2 minutes left to play in the contest. We'll come back and finish it after this. Your YDOT postgame show coming up in just a bit. (105-81), CWC leading, looking to go to 1-5 on the season, picking up their first win to send Colorado Northwestern 0-1 in their very first game of the year. Koski, Sims, Long, Maddox, and Klumak, the 5 in white for Central. Brown, Stevens, good hold by Koski, they got away with it. Also Orton, and there's a nice reverse lay-in by Stevens, 23 points for Azarian. 18 of it here in the second half, and then an offensive foul on Klumak, and that'll be number 5 for Jake. Should be Jack, or not. It's going to be his 4th. I had him fouled out, but
I'll take the mic, and you can go down there and tell him.
all right. 90 seconds remaining in the contest. Stevens playing to the end. Nice dish. Orton, the reverse lay-in. Can't go down. Klumak, the rebound. Could hear Orton's frustration. Three ball. Sims is good on the right side. Excuse me, left side.
Koski's got a couple of assists on just long passes he's thrown where guys have hit threes.
13 trifectas, and then a dribble off the foot by Stevens, and the turnover out of bounds. We will have a visit with our head coach, Brad Schmidt, at the conclusion of this ball game. Stick around for that on 88.1 and hopefully on rustlerathletics.com. He was going to come here first and then go talk to the team. So Maddox reverse lay-in blocked out of there. Picked up by Klumach and score it.
They're all in one motion to pick up the spin and the shot, all in one motion.
He had to. Shot clock was down to 4. I think he was maybe thinking it was closer than that. And Stevens' deep corner three ball is an air ball. Rebound Orton. And an offensive foul coming the other way, and the player goes down. Brown goes down. And
he goes out.
Yeah, he's going to go stretch that Achilles, looks like, as Namdar checks in. 9 seconds separates the shot clock from the game clock. 30 seconds left to play in the ball game. Driving, long body off of Orton, out of bounds, stays Central basketball. 18 to shoot, 27 on the game clock. Central to 1-4 on the year, their first win. Sims hooks it, nice pass. Maddox for three is good. That was a great no-look pass, second trifecta for Maddox, 14th three of the game. Kaysen for three on the other end, no good. Sims the rebound, and that'll probably put the lid on it tonight. Gonna spread it out, call off the Dogs. Final buzzer coming up with a 113-point output for the Rustlers tonight. And they end up winning by their biggest margin of the night. They end up winning by 30, 113 to 83. They take care of Colorado Northwestern. And coaching staff and players shaking hands at the conclusion of this one.
Well, that's a new thing too. We've not seen that.
Well, they let crowd in, so they figure they can do. COVID consistencies once again. We will talk with the head coach, Brad Schmidt, in the postgame show, brought to you by YDOT. Remember, YORoad.info. Know the road before you go. Check out the 511 app as well. As the Rustlers in front of the hometown crowd tonight, albeit a smaller one, but there was a crowd. They win it tonight, 113 to 83. Your postgame show is next. You've been watching and listening to Rustler Basketball on 88.1, streaming live at rustlerathletics.com. The postgame show is next. This is your post-game show. It is brought to you by YDOT. And know before you go, check out the road and travel situation at yoroad.info. You can also check it out via the 511 app that you can download on your smart device, and you can check the roads out before you go. I was just about to say something to kill some time before we saw our coach, but got our coach already here, so we will put him on the microphone. And Coach, can you hear us? Let's put this down where we can hear you there. And much needed W, and turn up your hear. Can you hear me now? Is that a little better? Much needed W, and tell us about this one and your thoughts on the ball game tonight.
Well, obviously, we needed to win, and I don't care who that came against tonight. And I'm just proud of the guys. Everybody got to play. We're seeing some improvements from individuals that I've been coaching up about certain things, and that's encouraging. And then, what the two sophomores did with Abdi going for 24 and no turnovers, and, Gentry going for 10 with 7 assists and only 2 turnovers. I'm really happy for those guys, and hopefully this is the start of some momentum moving forward.
I see 54 points off of your bench here tonight, and 2 guys that didn't start. Jalen Searles, I have him 13 rebounds and 19 points. Johnny Levias, 9 rebounds and 4 points, and maybe that, finding, like Jacob Smith didn't want to start. He would rather come off the bench, and maybe we're finding that rotation like you had hoped coming into this.
Yeah. I mean, I like the 5 starters, and then, obviously the bench guys with Johnny and Jack and Jalen Searles and what those guys did. And, Jalen Searles is a guy that is could be one of the best players to ever play here, just with his raw talent, but he's got a lot of room to grow still, just as far as body language, going hard, decision making. But if we can get all those things clicking, man, he's a special talent.
Coming into this, you wanted to get the ball inside. We started with that. Koch gets his foul first thing. You also wanted to see more energy. Jalen Gentry diving across to get that one. I think you saw that. You also wanted to talk body language tonight. Did we see those 3 things tonight?
Yeah. I thought, we played harder overall, but there's still too many lapses, where we're just not engaged defensively. We gave up way too many points to this team. And, when we play these high-level teams, man, it's one of these things you can't take plays off, and you can't have these energy laps. Body language, to be honest, Searles and Johnny were 2 of the guys that I've been on, and I thought they had great responses. So I'm proud of those guys. And, man, we played with more energy. We played with more pop. We're a really good rebounding team. I know that's one thing I've been impressed with our first 5 games is, I think we've out-rebounded every single opponent. Now, some of that comes from we're missing so many shots that there's a lot of offensive rebounds. But
yeah, I had you 49-31. So
yeah, so it's coming, man.
My last question is the pretty good little 3-headed monster that they've got there. Stevens, Brown, and Ding Wall, 23, 28, and 21 for them. And I know if you had maybe some scouting and had got to see them if there wasn't their first game, maybe a little more emphasis on some certain things. But that's a pretty good trifecta on the other side. Yeah,
Stevens and Brown were guys for him last year. They started almost every game for him last year. So, those guys are good, man. They're explosive. And then that big, he's a Utah kid, and he actually played with Trey Sims. So, he had a really nice night. And, yeah, they just don't have enough bodies, But if Coach Tarrant had, one or two more guys, they got a solid little squad.
Well, they haven't put in a whole lot of time in because of COVID and everything else. So hopefully they'll get some time to get everybody back in the gym and get that back on track.
One thing I've noticed, Dahir has certainly rounded out his game since last year. Boy, I mean, the ball handling, the outside shooting, and I guess he probably didn't need to do the outside shooting with the team last year, but his game has really grown by leaps and bounds, at least from what I'm seeing.
Oh, 100%, Joel. I mean, and a lot of that comes from it took him forever to get bought in. His first year, he was battling the buy-in process. He was battling the body language thing. He was battling all these little things that directly impact your college basketball career. And he doesn't have to worry about those anymore. He can go out and play. So he might have improved his game. He does get in the gym. He puts in a lot of time. But it's weird how once you're actually bought into the team and you're playing hard and you accept coaching, how you actually play better.
Weird question for you here, and that is, had your team been made up more of sophomores than it is, would your record be 1-4 now, or would it be better than that?
It doesn't matter because we only have freshmen. So,
but I mean, if
I would surely think so. I would surely think so. But we don't, and we should have beat Lamar. That's the one game that really hurt us. I think even if we won that game, I think it would have impacted us this last weekend, and I think we would have competed harder. But man, we've played a tough schedule, and these guys have got to get better. And I mean, we don't get any breaks. Friday we're gonna have to play Cali Christian, which I don't think will be very good. But then you turn around, you're playing CSI on their home floor, and then you're going and playing Air Force Prep twice. So
they didn't do well against the Lions, I had heard, the Christians.
Coach, we'll talk about the weekend later in the week. We'll let you go be with your team. Congratulations, and 1-4, and we'll talk to you later in the week on the Thursday Sports Show.
Thank you, guys.
You bet. Thank you. It's head coach Brad Schmidt as he picks up the victory tonight with a 113-83 victory over the Colorado Northwestern Spartans. We will take our final break. We'll come back. We'll give you some final stats, and we'll wrap it up after this. Rustlers 1-4 on the season. Colorado Northwestern 0-1. The finale of the postgame show next with some stats. This is the Y-Dot postgame show on 88.1 as the Rustlers win at 113-83. Look at some final stats in this one quickly. Abdi Dahir led the way. 24 points for the Rustlers tonight. New career high for Abdi, the sophomore. 19 points for Jalen Searles off the bench with 13 rebounds. 15 points for Davis Richard. He had 5 threes all in the first half of the ball game. 10 points for Jalen Gentry. 8 each for Stephen Long and Jacob Maddox. 5 points for Trey Sims. 4 points for Sebastian Gaza, and also 6 points for Caden Koch. I throw him in there. I've missed him. Trey Sims with 5, and Ajani Levias had 4. So almost everybody on the team getting in the scorebooks tonight as they put up 113 on Colorado Northwestern. Colorado Northwestern led by Raven Brown, 28 for Raven, 23 for Azarian Stevens, 21 for Choldang Wall. And that was pretty much the scoring for the team as they scored all but 9 points into the ball game. While Jordan Stratch scored 2, so they scored all but 11 points of the ball game, those 3 right there.
I don't know about you, but as we played these teams early in the year that aren't in our region, I kind of watch them the rest of the year, see what they're doing and who they're playing and how they're – and I'd like to see some things turn around maybe for Colorado Northwestern. It's been a bit of a dry spell for them as of late in most sports.
Central would hit 14 three-pointers out of 32 attempts. That's 44%. They would go 51% from the game, 39 of 77. They hit 21 of 26 free throws. On the other side, Colorado Northwestern, 48% for the game, 31 of 64. They hit 8 of 27 trifectas. They were 13 of 20 from the free throw line. Central, though, victorious here tonight, 113 to 83. They pick up their first win at the hands of Colorado Northwestern. Our women's team will try to do the same thing on Wednesday when they travel to Rangeley to play the women of Colorado Northwestern. And we'll talk with our head coach, Lindsey Fearing, at the after that one on our Thursday morning sports show. So with that said, thanks to our broadcast crew, Wyatt Barichka, Riley Bouillon, and Newmark Rika Franca. They have done a great job of battling without the instructor here tonight, and we thank them for being a part of this.
Proud.
For Joel Kindle, I'm John Gabrielson. Rustlers win 113 to 83.